Hello and welcome everyone to another super special stream today where we are trying to rebuild my portfolio website, which is written in TypeScript and Nuxt.js and is completely broken, so I can't deploy it anymore since 2 years and I need to update it. So I thought it might be a really cool idea to have someone here and rebuild it in Dart. So I would like to welcome Kilian here, who's
Hi.
the creator of Jaspr. And yeah, Kilian, I think it would be the best if you just really quickly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Jaspr, and then we can jump right in.
Sure. Yeah. Very happy to join. My name is Kilian. I'm also a Flutter developer for, I would say, 4 years now, probably. And I've been building Jaspr, which is a web framework. So not mobile development, but web development. But it's built in Dart. So it's targeted at Flutter developers that want to build a website, just like you today. So you can kind of use your existing Flutter and Dart skills to build an actual website, and so that's I think that's really cool. And you don't so it renders actual HTML and CSS, so you have an actual website. So it's not like Flutter Web, which is a bit different in that regard. And yeah, I think that's also what we're going to do today, right?
Exactly. So maybe just quick info. I'm rebuilding the website with Jaspr and not plain Flutter because Flutter is not made for websites, and that's exactly the point where Jaspr jumps in. And the plan would be now to have a quick look at the website. It's a simple one, but well, it works. No, it doesn't work anymore, but it did work. And then I would just take it as it is, and then we start from scratch, so everybody could follow if they want. And yes, let's see. I have not yet worked with Jaspr. I just tried it a little bit, but it's some time ago, so I think there have been some updates. And if you have any questions, then just write them in the chat and we will try to answer them as soon as possible. Alrighty. Kilian, are you ready? Then I would quickly open the website. Sorry, it's in German, but since there is not a lot of text anyways, I think it doesn't really matter. So yeah, this is my personal website. A designer made this for me, I don't know, 4 years ago, something like that. And then someone programmed it in TypeScript using Nuxt.js. I didn't do it myself because I hate web development, so here we are. It happens. And yeah, as you can see, it just is like a single, is it called single page application? I think so, single page. One pager? What's the name? There are so many names now.
Yeah, SPA, single page application.
Okay, single page application. Yeah, so there is just some background images, a little bit of text. It uses Tailwind CSS in the background. Then there is some portfolio, which is, it's so old. Those are my first projects. You can click on them, then another, I don't know what's that called in web, overlay is popping up and you can just click through them. We could totally do this different, but let's see how far we can get. And then there is also...
Where does this information come from? Like, do you have a CMS, or is it just some JSON, or is it just hard-coded into HTML?
It's hard-coded JSON.
Okay.
I think we can look into that, but that would be a future question if it makes sense to put this somewhere else. But for now, I think hard coding should be fine. Okay, so something went wrong with my background image. As you can see, it's super pixeled. I have no fucking idea what's going on there, but since I can't upgrade it, I can't fix it. Okay, doesn't matter. So this is just about me section, and then there is a contact thing. It's not even a contact form. It's just a button. Basically, that's it. So it's super simple. And we have a menu here where you can just click on all the fancy links, and then you will normally you will be just scrolled down to the page. So that's it, I think, from responsiveness. Help. It does something, but nothing special. So it should be able to be viewed on mobile as well. But everything is just basically scaled down or put into one column. So that's also nothing super special, I would say. I don't know. Okay. Yes, I think that's it for now. So you can, of course, also check out the website. I will post the link, and then you can have a look. And now the first step, I would say, since we're starting from scratch, would be I delete the project I started to create already real quick. Should we do that? It's just the basic. I just ran the 2 commands.
Yeah.
Kilian, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to restart with the Jaspr create command to look at the options.
True, because there were some questions. Okay. Yeah, we can still do that and just name it differently. So you can see the terminal as well, right? Can you also put something in the terminal from the live share thing? I don't know.
Do you see? I need to request access.
Oh god,
Sorry?
please don't do something stupid on my computer.
On the power. Do you see that?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Then it works.
Also, I think we can maybe size it up like this, and then it's hopefully a little bit better to read in the stream. Okay, yeah, so this is the folder where you can basically create it, and then we can start from scratch. Just as a quick hint, there was one command I ran before creating that, which was not all of those. Oh god, now we have to go back. Yeah, exactly. It was the Dart pub global activate Jaspr CLI. I will also paste the documentation in the chat, and then you can check this out. But that was it, right? That's all I did today.
That's
so
everything, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you have to have Dart installed, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. Okay, but I just assume that's somehow clear. Okay, so I will link the thingy, and then this one is Jaspr, and then we could run the create.
Yes.
So the create is. Would you like to do it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I can't. I don't know. Jaspr create.
Just Jaspr create.
And then the name. We call it portfolio Jaspr. Super, I know it's super creative. And then I just hit enter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now it begins to ask you stuff. So the first thing is rendering mode, which defines how your project is set up. We have the option between static, which is kind of static site generation. We have the option for server, which is server-side rendering, and client, which is just a purely client-side site. For our case, I would say static is the best option because there isn't much interactivity going on. So, but still, we want just output a static site, basically. So that's
okay. What would I? Because I think the current one is server-side rendered. I never knew why. Is there any?
So
why that would have been the case?
So you can choose server-side rendering if you want some dynamic content to render whenever a user loads your page. For example, if you want to customize it for a specific user, like when user A loads a page, should see something different than when user B loads the page. For us, that doesn't make any, like, we don't want that. Or if you want some like up-to-date information or load something fresh from the database, I don't think we need that for this page. So yeah.
Okay.
And then the when you use server mode and server-side rendering, you have to have, or you have this kind of then actual server executable that you need to host somewhere, maybe in a Docker container or something. So like the setup is also more, and the deployment is also more to do than just having a static site, which is just HTML, CSS, JavaScript files, whatever, and you can just put that on any web hoster, basically.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. We just go with static for now. If I would use a backend behind it somehow, that wouldn't make any difference, right? Or
so
like
you
my
can use a
content?
backend when you use the server mode.
Okay.
But for static, it's just so, because static is executing and rendering everything at build time.
Yeah.
So when you say Jaspr build, then it renders everything. So it doesn't really make sense to have a backend there.
And is it possible to change it afterwards? So if I go for static now, is it possible to also build it? Okay.
Switching from static to server or from server to static is pretty much like just changing one line, actually. And then maybe a few modifications, but it's super easy. And changing to client, there's a bit more setup, but you can change from anything to anything, basically. Also for other questions that will come now.
Okay, sounds good.
This is just to give you like a starting point, and you can choose to do whatever afterwards.
Okay, so I'm going with static. What the hell is automatic hydration on the client?
So this is kind of new if you come from the Flutter world, because in Flutter we only are always on the client. Like when you run your app, it's always on the client. Hydration is the concept where you have something that's pre-rendered, which includes static mode. So either like in static mode, it's pre-rendered at build time. With server mode, it's pre-rendered at request time. So when the user requests your site, it's both pre-rendered. And then hydration is when that pre-rendered HTML is now kind of loaded in the browser, and then your client-side application kicks in and kind of picks up the rendering where the server has left off. So at that point, you want to keep the general layout and whatever you have pre-rendered on the site, you want to keep it the same, and just kind of attach maybe on click listeners and stuff like that to make it interactive. So I think that's also kind of where the hydration name comes from, to like, you have a very dry site, which is not an interactive, doesn't behave in any way, and then you hydrate it with some JavaScript and some event management and make it interactive. So, and with Jaspr, you can do that either automatically or manually. I always recommend automatically, because like, why wouldn't you? So
there are no drawbacks or something?
No. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I don't think
then
there are.
It's yes. Routing for different pages of your site.
So if we want to have some, multiple pages, basically, I think we do. Like we have the privacy policy, and we have the legal side. So
also in the future there might be some additional sites. So I think this would be a yes then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you select yes there, you can choose between server-side routing and client-side routing. Client-side routing, again, is what Flutter does. So basically all your application logic and code and screens are always loaded on the client, and then you just execute code on the client to switch between the screens. And server-side routing is basically like how classical websites work. When you go to a new page, the server loads a new page from the server. So I think also in our case, because we just make a classical website with just different pages, the server-side routing makes more sense.
Okay. So I click choosing no sets up.
Also yes.
Also yes. Okay. Flutter web embedding.
do you want to have a
Yes,
Flutter
of course.
app in there in your
Yeah.
website?
Yeah, I
Yes,
don't
sure.
know which one yet. I don't know if, but are there any drawbacks?
No, I mean,
So
not really.
I tried Flutter web embedding recently last week. I failed miserably because I don't know, I hit a bug or something. I ended up using an iframe in the end, but okay.
I mean, we can try
I
if you
would
want.
love
I
to
don't know
try
if we have the
again.
time to really go into that, but
Yeah, not probably not today, but I would like to set it up so I can, if I know what I put there, I can.
sure.
Of course, this could also be done afterwards, right? Because it's just a
Yes.
snippet in the end.
Yes. You can also go to the documentation afterwards and just edit then.
But I want it now.
All right.
Yeah,
that was
because then I can try it from on my page and see if it also fails to work there. Because I'm still curious what in the world is wrong there. Okay, so that was quick. So now we can run Jasper stuff. You said there is any.
Yes, you have to go into the folder first.
Oops, sorry. This one. There is any possibility to share this at the same time?
I also don't see the new project right now.
Right. Yeah, we should open. No. I hope that was the right one. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Okay, it was. Okay. So 8080. So this is this one. Maybe we can real quick go through the things they got created. I'm not sure if you can just open them and it follows you somehow.
Can you follow me?
I don't see you.
If you go to live share, there should.
Okay. I have not worked with that yet.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So I'm in the main.dart, lib/main.dart. This is the entry point for the server. So server. So we selected static mode. We don't do traditional server-side rendering, but we still have a server entry point because server doesn't specifically mean like a running server somewhere. It just means whatever computer does the pre-rendering. And in our case, this is like your computer. As soon as you run Jaspr build, this will do the pre-rendering of your site. So this is the kind of entry point at that time. This isn't code that will be shipped and executed on the client. So that's kind of the important thing here to know. And then we say run app. So it's similar to Flutter, and we provide our first component. If you haven't seen anything Jaspr-like before, I'm just going into a component here. So a component is basically a widget, just with a different name. You have stateless component, you have stateful component, you have inherited component, and you can build your own as you would do with Flutter. It has a build method, which conceptually works in the same way as Flutter. The difference is it returns not one component, but it can return multiple components. So we return an iterable here. And then what I recommend, and also for the default for all the templates, is using this sync star syntax, which this is just syntax sugar and Dart that combined with, so you have the sync here and you have the yield here. This combined gives you like a nice flowing syntax than returning a list. So you could also just kind of remove that syntax and return list and then your component in here. But then you always have this additional like brackets stuff. And so the sync is just, and then you can, and yield is kind of like your turn, but you can use it multiple times, as many as you want. and that's kind of then constructing a list or an iterable for you. Yes, so that's kind of the very short introduction to components. Let's go back to main. The document component is a component from Jaspr that gives you the standard basic document, like HTML document structure. So your HTML tag, your head tag, your body tag. And then it puts some meta information in there, like the title, put some styles. We link to our manifestation, and then we put our app component as the body. Now it would actually, maybe you can go to the browser and look at the Chrome DevTools and check out the HTML that's been rendered, because it's always nice to compare it.
Yep. Oh. That's Flutter embedded stuff. Partly.
So you should see somewhere in there the title, somewhere in there the manifest link, and then if you go to the body, maybe we can see our actual app that's running.
Main header section. No?
Yeah. And these are all standard HTML elements that have been rendered by Jaspr, and then we go back.
Okay, I see.
And then we have so the app, which has a div, the header, the router for our 2 pages, or like the kind of default project has 2 pages here. And then, for example, if we go in the home page, you see here it's rendering a section with an image, h1, paragraph, a div, and then the counter component. So this is the basic, the very basic intro how Jaspr works.
So far so good, I would say.
All right. We can also maybe look, because you wanted to have Flutter embedding here. So the counter component, it has like it has an HTML Jaspr counter in here, and then it has the Flutter counter. And the Flutter counter is, if I go in here, this is now everything from material app and down is now Flutter widgets.
Okay.
Like actual Flutter widgets.
And that's in a Flutter embed view, and this is also coming from Jaspr, right?
Yes, because so normally if you embed a Flutter app in your website, you have to do some more wiring, and most importantly, like you have your website code and then you have your Dart Flutter code. But since Jaspr is also Dart, we can do some really cool things in here that is just in the same code base, in the same file. So we are in the Flutter counter, which is a Jaspr component. We use the Flutter embed view, which is also a Jaspr component, but this one now accepts a Flutter widget, and then it does some magic to embed this Flutter widget in your website.
That's cool.
And all the benefits you get from that is it's the same code base, it's the same code, so you can do code sharing, data sharing, and pass values between, just like how you would with any other widget or component. So for example, here the count and the onChange callback comes from the counter component, and this way it's synced, like the both counters that we have on the site, the HTML counter and the Flutter counter are synced automatically, and we don't need to do any JavaScript interop or something that you would have to do normally if you want to embed and then communicate with the Flutter application.
So I think now it's now we can see it. If I click this, it syncs.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. That's a good selling point if it's already so it's good we did that. Yeah. Thumbs up.
Nice. Yes, and so that's how the Flutter embedding looks like. I don't know. Should we just start making the website now?
Yeah,
And like
I think so.
whenever we come across more stuff, I can
Yeah,
introduce it,
sure.
but I don't
Absolutely.
need to give a full tutorial here.
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely, absolutely. Can
So,
I
do you
switch
want
here
to
and
take over with coding, and I just kind of chime in
do I want?
whenever I have?
I don't know.
Do you feel comfortable?
No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. Since web is really something different and like merging it into
Maybe we can
Jaspr.
start easy with like
Yeah.
from your existing website, taking like assets, images, and stuff, and
Yes.
copying them over and see what is there and what we can work
Copy
with.
paste. I can do that. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me real quick search for the project on my PC. Portfolio view. So assets. Okay, I have an assets folder with CSS icons in SVG, image folder, and JavaScript folder. Okay, no, we can ignore that. But yeah, for example, the images, let me quickly, I don't know, something like that. So, yeah, here is like the background images, the mobile phone images with the projects, and the start background image. I have them all here.
Yeah, nice.
So they would go in some kind of asset folder, I guess.
Yes, it's in web/images. So
the folder is there
so the
already.
web folder is kind of the asset folder. So anything that's inside web folder is just kind of copied over and there as static assets later.
Cool. Copy paste. I like. So yes, this is the background. Okay, logo we have to change. This is one of the phones. I need to replace them, but I'm not gonna do that now because I have way more projects now, and yeah, but doesn't matter. So the images are in here, and the icons, for example, the SVG icons, I would also put them here. There is an icon folder, so I would put them into the icon folder. It's like the Xing and whatever, LinkedIn and blah blah icons. Preview team, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Yes, so that's the assets.
Nice. Then we can continue. I would maybe set up the pages that we have now, just as like some empty pages and do the navigation and
yeah, since there is just this one page which is scrollable, would that still be different pages?
No, that I was thinking about like you have the main page or the home page, and then you have like the impressum and the privacy policy. I think.
So we could just put them in here. So for example, home can stay home, and that would be the whole thing.
Yep.
And about doesn't exist. So this would be, for example, I'm writing it in German because I think this is the path which is displayed then, right?
Yes, that's like the browser URL.
Okay, so we do this in German, but yeah, I don't think it doesn't any. It does not make any. Oh, I have auto formatting in, and then I can. So this is in pages, so I can. German class names. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that, but otherwise it doesn't really make sense. So we name this German now. It's fine. Okay. So this would probably... Okay, yeah, I get it. There is some kind of navbar somewhere, probably. This is the header.
Yes, that's the header.
And that's there is... Okay, yeah, I see. So this would then just lead to the impressum with a link. Okay, that's interesting. So the routing does some special things, or link is
Not really. So the link component is just wraps like an A
okay.
element, which is the standard link element. It has some logic to distinguish between if you do client-side or server-side routing.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, we are using server-side routing, so it's just an A element.
Okay, so if I would, oops, what is Jasper options doing? Was this auto-generated?
This is auto-generated, yes.
Okay, so I close it and hope for the best. Okay, so Impressum is there and it also links to the new page. Okay, that was easy. So we have those 2 pages now and we have some kind of a link. Great.
Yeah, nice.
Next step.
I would say start writing the homepage.
Okay.
So like putting in the HTML.
So I would assume this is the home page, and then we have HTML. I don't know what is this. Okay, we can really quickly check it again because
Yeah, I guess the nice thing here, we can orient on what is there, right?
yes, exactly.
All right. So in the meanwhile, I've added some things here, which should maybe now come up on the website. Yeah, nice.
Looks good.
So HTML is there, and then we need to do the styling. So with Jaspr, you can write HTML in Dart, as you've seen, and you can also write CSS in Dart, which is nice because you get kind of type-safe CSS bindings. But I need to find out what CSS you have here.
Okay, real quick question. So
Yes.
div section H1, H2, A, this is all like basic HTML knowledge. And text is some special thing, or
text is just like in HTML, just a string. This is just a wrapper because like each component expect child components, so you can't just put a string in there, like because type safety.
Makes
yeah,
sense.
but this doesn't add any HTML text or something.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, and so all kind of all HTML tags that Jaspr has are lowercase, just to distinguish them and see them how they normally also like in HTML look. And then your like your own components and all kind of like components that add something around that are uppercase, normally like widgets.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can kind of see which is just raw HTML and which is maybe a component that does something more.
Makes sense.
All right, so I have some CSS here from your website.
I can also share the file if it helps, but since it's all Tailwind related.
But actually,
Tailwind maps that as well, right?
To be honest, I don't see any Tailwind used in your, like, when I inspect the website, I don't see the Tailwind. But this is just, I see class names, but like custom class names and then custom CSS. This doesn't look like something that Tailwind would output.
Huh, interesting. Does it look like something Tailwind would have outputted 4 years ago?
No. Because with Tailwind you have like utility class names all over. And this looks more like just in a Next component someone wrote CSS manually.
All right.
So because and then you have like just this one.
Well, then we don't need it, so then it's even better, I would say.
Yeah.
Then we can just skip the not working part.
Always good. So I continue maybe the section here, and then you can do something else. So this is the CSS, and in Jaspr you can write the kind of Jaspr version of CSS by using the CSS function, which you have to give the selector as you have in your CSS. So this one just selects the section, and then okay, the stream doesn't show my auto completion, right? But if you press like do dot and then you have a bunch of things auto completing, maybe you can do it so
how
everyone sees it.
It doesn't show for okay. Like this? Oops.
Do you know what I mean?
Huh? Okay, I somehow I'm not sure if you can see this, but I can see auto-completion like background box.
So yeah, maybe you can take over typing and I just guide you along. So if you press dot, you have a bunch of options of kind of style groups. So Jaspr semantically groups a couple of CSS properties together, so it's easier. So you can start with maybe box, and there you can set the display to flex, so display.flex. And this goes kind of parallel to the normal CSS properties. You have also the min height you can set there.
Yeah.
It's 100.vh.
Okay, Copilot knows everything. Great.
Nice. And then outside of box you can press dot again and then chain kind of more styles. We can do the flex. The flex. Is it?
Flex item and flex box I have.
Then flex box, and should set the flex wrap as it is below.
Flex wrap. I'm not sure if this is correct. I can't set flex. Wrap. I can set wrap.
Yeah, it's just wrap.
It's wrap and then flex wrap. Wrap.
Yes.
Okay, wrap, flex, wrap. Okay.
And then the last thing to set the background. So again, outside of the flex.
Oops.
Of the flex group.
Like chained.
Yes, chained. Okay. You have the background group, and there you can set the position size and repeat.
Okay. Position would be center. Like it takes the whole thing?
It's written below. I've copied it over. If you scroll down a bit.
Sorry, I didn't see that. I don't see.
I'm just going off from the comments below.
Like this from. Okay. I see.
I copied this over from the website.
So I can maybe real quick. I know it will auto format, but for seeing it helps. Background position 50%. Interesting. How do I do %?
Yes, dot and then
%. Okay, I could have guessed that somehow, but it's not correct. Unit can't be assigned to the parameter background position.
You have to wrap this, with background position.
Okay, and then it's 50%.
I think it's because you have more options. So there are some CSS properties which like have shortcuts if you write CSS. I think this just 50% refers to the offset. Yeah, I think offset X probably. And then you can set 50%.
Okay, that looks good.
Try that.
And then I have repeat, no repeat. and size cover. Okay, but that's cool if you can like copy paste it in, and then for my use case now, maybe not for every use case, but for my, because Copilot knows what to do then somehow, because it knows Jasper already.
That would be news to me, but sure.
Well, it did give me all the things, so I don't know. Cover, and then no repeat. And something like WebKit background size stuff. Do I also need to set this?
This one doesn't Jasper have right now.
Okay.
This is like special
Browser special stuff.
browser specific stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's an option to just write raw CSS if you have if you encounter these types that Jasper doesn't support right now. So you can say .raw and just put in a map of strings.
Okay.
Just yeah, kind of the fallback.
But like a map of strings. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Okay, that's good to know.
And then I've continued with the start section, or like with CSS for just the start, because the above one is for any section. So if we add more section later, and the other one just for the top one.
True.
So yeah, there's our background image already.
Is it?
Yes.
Reload. Yep. Okay, nice. And then min height. We said that already. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you have to know where to find the values, like where to put them. For example, I wouldn't have guessed to put it in a box. So how would I?
Yeah,
I
think
know
there's like a small learning curve too, like
okay.
what properties are there. I try to kind of group it semantically. So yeah, box is like anything for sizing and how like the element is displayed regarding to the like there's this box layout which is like the general CSS layout, and then there's like the text group which does all the text styling, and then flexbox background obviously does all the background related properties and so on.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we now just continue doing that for at least the rest of the first section to have it fully styled, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm quickly opening the page because I need to see what's going on there. Okay, so this is the start section with the background, and then okay, everything is a section, so the next page would also be a section. I see. Makes sense. Okay. So you said finishing up like the first section.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So like styles for the container and the call to action.
Okay, so here is the section, there is the start, and then if I want to have something within the start, like the container is within the start section, then I would just also like put it below, or is there some Verschachtelung?
There is actually. So you can here as a second argument, you can put a list, and then you can put nested styles. So I could put here now the dot container and style that.
I'm not sure if that's
oops.
Well, from the HTML in the website, I can really quickly put this in the screen. You can see that there is the wrapper, then there is the start, and then within is the container. But the same is for Angebot has also the container, and I think all the others. Oh no, they don't.
I think there are some general container styles and then the start specific container styles.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, I've copied them over again. So
So this
down
is
below.
the container. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Display.
and then so if you do nested styles, I think it looks a bit nicer if you put kind of the styles for now start itself also in that list. And for this you can use the special ampersand as like the selector, which selects the whatever parent selector there is. So we can do this, and then this kind of format's a bit nicer. So you do the like start, select the start, and then style it itself, and then style any nested elements.
Okay, that's also really good to know. I would have not guessed that, but it's probably written in the documentation somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so for the container, we would also put the flex wrap stuff, which goes to the flex box again, right? So it's the basically flex box wrap flex wrap.
Yes.
Nice. And then
I continue with the other styles.
Yeah, and then the align content. How can I find out where I can search for it?
Which one you mean?
The align content.
This is also part of the flex because it's so the CSS property. I mean, you have to know still have to know kind of CSS, right? Like otherwise it's hard. I think in the future at some point there will definitely be some more kind of UI abstractions, like I don't know, a material library or something similar for Jaspr, where you write less manual CSS, but right now like that's like conceptually you still have to know it because it's just HTML and CSS. So
yes, somehow I think Copilot will learn faster than me, so I'm just lazy, and it will still work somehow, I think. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oops, I think I killed. Oh no, okay, it's there. Okay, so this container is another container.
This is like style sent for all containers.
Okay.
Also for the other sections, yes. And then I put, I couldn't help myself to also name it edge insets.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, this doesn't exist in CSS, but yeah, just to have it.
Yeah, that's good.
To have at least some familiarity. And then what is that number? 83.3 plus whatever.
Oh God.
Sure.
Why?
I mean,
I didn't code that. I'm out. So I didn't do that. I'm fine.
I'm just copying over what I see.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe save that and how does it look now? Okay.
Yeah, getting there. Getting there.
I guess we have to go further now with CTA also and the H1.
Okay, but I would say since this is quite clear, and this is something this is just now you have to do it. Can we maybe switch to another thing? For example, if I have multiple sections now, so and then they will be scrollable. It will be just because we set all those styles. So for example, I'm just super super lazy if I would copy paste the section and call it about, which would be the next one. Then okay, that's what I wanted to check. Okay, and then I could just write all my stuff in here and style it as well. And then then I just need to add the text and the styles.
Yeah.
And that's it. So if I'm like finishing, because I want to check some different things, for example, what do we have? For example, I'm not sure if we can manage that somehow, but for example, the portfolio items. Don't know if that makes sense, but the other stuff is now, at least for me, I think it's pretty straightforward. You just have to figure out the styles, copy paste them over, add the text.
Exactly.
It's super. Yeah. I think I got it. And
then of course you can like, if you don't want to have like all this markup just in one component, you can pull it out to new components as you would with Flutter and kind of structure this a bit more.
So I could put the section, for example, into a start section component.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. And then I would also grab the styles from that section, from the start section, and put them into the styles within that component, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Right now you have to, so with the styles you have to right now kind of wire it manually, but this will change in the next version. I'm almost ready to release it, but then
maybe I think this is a really good point. Maybe we really quickly try to, or I try to do that, and you tell me if I'm on the absolute wrong track. So I would, for example, go for I would call this, I don't know, start section. And then I have a stateless component. So start section extend stateless component. Not sure if you can see what I'm doing. And I need to annotate this with client.
No, we can talk about this in a bit, but you don't.
Okay, I don't need to do that. Okay, that's good. And then I have my list here, which would be still another. Is it always a? No, it's not. So I have just the yield, but it has to be a list. So I have something like, whoops, yield. And this has
and the sync star right? In the method signature.
Oops. Okay. And then I can remove this from here and just put the start section. And then I can have the static. Yeah, I just copy paste real quick everything, and then I would remove everything except the start. So something like this, right? Oh,
yes.
Oops, I broke
except one thing, so you have to add the styles from start section also to the styles from home now. So if you go to home,
this one.
No, if you go to the home or
yeah,
can, if you go to the styles, then you can go in here, and do you see my cursor?
Yeah, I see it.
Kind of dot start section dot styles, because this is a list, and then you add the start section styles to this list of styles. And this list of styles is also then used, I think, in the app, in the app component. So it's passed up. But this kind of handling the styles this way will change in the next version, so that you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So you just add the styles to the component and would automatically figure it out.
Nice, I see. Just, I'm not sure if you can see the chat, but Nylon, I'm just calling you Nylon now, said, love you, Schulte, for Dart mappable. Just so you know.
Thanks. Yes, another package I did. Or am doing.
Like all the stuff you do 24 hours a day. Okay, I got it. That's nice. That's good to know. Because now it's, I loved it. That makes so much more sense for me now. Okay, cool. And then it's clean. And so could I pass arguments there?
For sure. It's a normal, like, think of it as a widget.
Okay, that's cool. Because then, I mean, that comes into play if we, for example, if we look at the portfolio stuff, where we have the components with the image and the name and stuff like that, there we could just use a portfolio item component or whatever the name would be, and then just pass the arguments like I would normally do in Flutter. Okay, that's cool. That's more fun, no? Like web development, no, but that's fun. That's fun. Okay, cool. Can we try that? Does it make sense to do that as a next step, or what do you think would make more sense?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, so we have the portfolio. I'm just calling this portfolio so we know we are there. Whatever happens there, we remove this. It's my spam email, so don't even try to send me emails there. And let's quickly check how it looks. I totally forgot how my page looks. Great. Okay, so here it is. Okay, yeah, well, it's special. But
it's different in mobile.
It's different.
Format.
Yes, you're right. So in bigger, it looks like this, and it has some fancy hover stuff. But in the end, this should be just nothing too fancy. In theory.
Maybe we go with the mobile layout, because then I have an idea of what to show you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, and I think it's easier to just have it as separate, where you switch between them.
Yeah, okay. Wait, let's see. Maybe we can, I mean, the responsive part would also be just the CSS stuff, right? So
yeah.
If we change the CSS or if we add some CSS blub, then would this be in the raw, or is there any chaining thingy? Where would I put this? Isn't this called? No, it's not media query. It's where can I set something based on the size?
Yes, there is a style rule.media. So if you, you can type style rule like in capitalized.
But just below, or where would I put that?
Yeah, as a new item in the list.
Like here, style rule. Selector.
Don't need to do that.
Oops.
Style rule it has a separate. It has kind of separate
because
constructors.
Styles is a list. Yeah, okay, I get it.
And then so this is kind of the media CSS selector, and you get a query. So you can do a media, what is it called? Sorry, media rule query, right? For example, no. And then, yeah, we have a min width or max width you can set then.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know which one we use, but
Good question.
maybe we just do something right now, because and then here again you do in there your styles. It's also named. Right. So and then here you can again do CSS, whatever your normal styles.
I see. Yeah. Okay, that's really good to know. Nice. Okay, we just leave that in here. That's fine. Okay, yes. So, real quick, let's jump back to the portfolio thing. So you said you have some idea how to do that, and that would be.
So I would create like a portfolio item component that you can reuse for all the different apps.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we need to do some logic to switch between them.
Okay. But we could do the component real quick and then see how we would real quick. I don't know yet. We'll see. So I would create portfolio item. Would you always name them with component in the end? No, right? Because it's clear that it's a component.
Do you name your widgets?
No, but some do.
I don't.
Always confused by that.
But I guess that's however you want to do it.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to do that. Extends. I forgot it again. Great.
Stateless component.
Yeah. It's 30 degrees in here. My brain is just not there. I have an excuse at least. Okay, I know we have to put the sync now. I know we do some yield, and then we would, I don't know, how does that look like? What is it even? But what are because you said there is no tailwind, so if we look into this, what is the section data v blah blah blah?
I think this comes from Nuxt. Something Nuxt does.
Okay, that could be, that could be the case. Okay, so what is this mock-up? Okay, whatever happened, thank you. So mock-up, class mock-up. Why is this a mock-up? I would not name it like that. And what does it even do? It doesn't do anything.
I think that's just the image.
That's just the image. But what's the container for the... It's just the image. There's nothing... okay, it is just the image. But as the portfolio item, we are describing the whole thing, right?
Yes. So now the cool thing is with if you make now if you would make a stateless widget, you always have to return one widget, so you have always kind of one container. Since with Jaspr you can return multiple components in the build method, we don't need kind of a wrapper container for the portfolio item now. We can just return the mockup and then the whatever else is there, like the details, as siblings.
Okay. So this would
be...
Yeah.
Let me I'm gonna... so So we have this. I'm copying the.
You have to follow you again. Okay.
The HTML. Oh, it's all one line. Okay. Wow. So we have. This is just I copied from the website. Oh no. Oh no, no. Oh no.
Base 64. Okay, yeah, why not?
Why does it do that? I think that's icons or something.
Yes, could be.
Okay. Can't this be copied, formatted? Guess not. Okay, there was like this. I wouldn't care about the container, and then I would say there's like a div with overview classes, right? And then there's another div, and so we can do just another yield here that has the details kind of, yeah, like below it, and those are siblings. So that's what I meant, like we can return multiple things here. We don't need to have an additional container here, and the container can be outside of this component.
Okay.
So because I think on the website, yeah, the overview had the mockup and the arrows, and then the details had yeah, just the details, like the project details.
Okay, yeah, the overview had the image and the, or would you count the image into the overview?
It was an overview, yes. So it was the
yeah.
It was H2 first. I'm just going over from like what's there.
But the H2 is the portfolio. It's the headline. That's on the section already, right? Because it's
in the overview. I mean, it would make sense more in the section, but on the site right now, it's in the overview.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, I agree.
We don't do that.
Then you can put it, or just remove it there, and
yeah. It's since it's already there, I put it already in the section, and then I would. Okay, then we add multiple components, but I would also include the current component now to see what it does.
Yeah. So now coding the image, since we are in the component, we now need to pass that as a parameter, I think, to like have then multiple items with different images, right?
Yeah.
So we pass the image and use it in here. Yes. And then maybe just to skip a bit. Oops. Maybe just pass some whatever as a string here and show that, right? Like we don't need to do the full HTML. We just need
no, it's fine.
yeah. So I would maybe do it like this. Nice. And then use that in the home screen, homepage.
Okay, and then I would have lorem ipsum, yeah, okay. And this would be whatever this is. And then I should see one image. Okay, nice. And can I do something like a for loop in there?
Yes.
Oh, I can? Uh-huh. Okay.
I would even maybe pull this out the section again to like a portfolio section as we did with the start section.
Absolutely. Oh, why can't I remember this? Why can't I remember this? Stateless component, damn it. It's gonna take 10 more times, but then I got it. Okay, so...
Just code it.
Oh, okay.
And then you said in the beginning you have like a JSON file with
Yeah, let me quickly
all
check. I'm
these,
pretty
maybe?
sure, but...
Because then it gets interesting. How do we load the JSON file?
I'm really quickly searching for it. I think I have a JSON file. Where was it? Okay, this is a JavaScript file. Oh my god. Yeah. Did I say JSON? I can change it to a JSON file.
Yeah, should be easy enough. Yeah.
Hello, ChatGPT. Lovely that you are here. Oh god, it's half English, half German. If there's something worse than German code, it's German English code. Help. Why? Okay, we have to fix that, but that's that we can do. Okay, ChatGPT is really slow. So I would add a JSON file and I would put it into the web folder.
I don't think, because then it gets like exposed to the site and we only need it at build time.
Then
So
I
maybe
would
just make a separate directory.
data or
Yeah.
I would call this data,
Yeah.
and then in there is the portfolio items JSON file. And this would be it. And we absolutely I don't know, just not German. Everything's fine, but not German. Okay, and the assets. Oh, so about the assets, because this was really weird in Next and JavaScript. I don't know what's going on there. Can I just, so if I publish this and we just use the portfolio item and in there is the source images/image, that would work.
Yes. So I know that some of these web frameworks, including Nux, do some image optimization. So you have, whenever you want to use images, you have to use some special syntax, but Jaspr doesn't do that.
I would not call that optimization. I would call that bang your head against the wall, because I don't know, it took me quite a while to figure that out. Okay, nice. Then we can just use the name in here, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now fun part. How do we load that JSON?
I don't know.
So I'm going to tell you. the good thing is we use static rendering, so we have like kind of this build step of pre-rendering everything at build time,
Yeah.
which means also the kind of the components are executed at build time and just run like as a normal Dart application. So we can use .io and do file operations. So we can just kind of use file.read to load that JSON file. The one thing we have to be aware of or take care of is that when we do that, this really is in code that is only executed on the server, because it obviously doesn't work on the client, because we can't import Dart.io in the browser as we can't in Flutter Web. So we can do that in a component that is only rendered on the server. We can't do that in a component that is also rendered on the client. Now comes the fun part, thinking about hydration and which components are rendered where. If you go to the home screen, you can see there is this add client annotation, which you also noticed earlier.
Yeah.
This is what we selected very in the beginning. We selected automatic hydration for Jaspr. This is what this looks like. So adding this add client annotation makes this component automatically kind of compile to JavaScript, ship to the client, hydrate on the client, and then render on the client. So this component and anything, any child components, anything imported also from that file is also rendered and compiled on the client. So we can't, for example, here or like in right now, we can't use the Dart.io and file operations in the home component.
Yeah.
We could use it in the app component though, because that is above that, and the app component is only rendered on the server.
Aha.
Does that make sense?
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like one additional thing. If you're coming from Flutter, you only deal with client and you don't have to think about server versus client. With Jaspr, you do if you select static or server mode. But it's a small price to pay for the cool stuff you can do.
Okay.
So we can either now load the file in the app component and pass it kind of down as parameters, or we move the add client annotation to a component further down the tree and let the component at the home component just be rendered server side, which I think is a better way to do here. You can, or where you want to make a component render client side is where that component has to actually have some client side logic and be interactive. I don't know, react to button clicks and stuff like that. Right now, the home component doesn't do anything like that. So we don't need it to be client side rendered.
But for example, the start section would need it because of the button?
No.
No.
Because that's not really a button, that's a link. And links are handled by the browser itself, so there are no... we are still having no JavaScript click handlers. Right?
Yeah.
We do need it in the portfolio section, because there we actually have this like forward and backwards button to click through the different apps. So there we actually do, this needs to be also on the client. So somewhere between the arrows and the home screen, we need to put our add client annotation. I would put it on the portfolio section, I think. And then we need to load the data outside of the portfolio section and pass it down.
Okay, but where?
So if you just kind of remove the add client annotation from home screen, start with that, and add it to portfolio section. And now you've successfully changed the hydration. And I think if we check the dev tools, you can also see that now there's some JavaScript loaded for the portfolio section and only for the portfolio section.
Okay.
Which is also like, in addition to thinking about what component needs to be hydrated, you also try to optimize kind of that the client annotation is as far down the tree as possible, so that as few JavaScript is actually shipped to just increase load times. Like, you could put it at the very top, at the very root of your application, and then you basically have kind of like a Flutter app where everything is downloaded as JavaScript and then executed. But if it doesn't need to be, then you can have a much smaller JavaScript bundle size.
But holy shit, what the hell is going on in your brain that you could figure something like that out? This is so far from. Okay, what?
We haven't come to the good part yet.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, still what? Okay. Yes. So we can see here is some things going on now.
Yes. Also, if you inspect the HTML elements, you see some, like the component comment above that. Yes, this is a marker that Jaspr adds automatically for kind of detecting where now your component is and where it needs to pick up the client-side rendering. So this is kind of part of the hydration system that Jaspr does.
Okay, holy shit.
So you could, because if you now would use that portfolio section component multiple times, it would also need to hydrate it multiple times. Yes. So let's do what we wanted to do and load the JSON file.
Yes.
I would maybe I take over and
go
you can follow along. I'm in the homepage.
I can see it.
So I've shown this before in my talk. What feels really, really weird as a Flutter developer, but is okay when you have a server-rendered component, is to put logic in your build method. Because that build method, if it's really only a server-side component, is only executed once during pre-rendering. So you can kind of put logic in here. For example, I do file, where did you put it? Data / port the JSON file, and then read. I guess I have to import .io here, and then read as string. Use the sync one. And read the JSON here, and kind of also decode it like this. Right?
Yes, that feels weird.
That feels super weird. I know, but it's okay. Trust me. It's okay. Because again, this build method isn't even shipped to the client. It's never executed on the client. It's only executed once on the server. So doing some logic here is okay. And then you can pass that data now. It's not typed. Normally I would go in, maybe use .mappable to actually decode this to a nice Dart object, right? But we can also just, like, this should be now a map. Or no, it's actually a list, right? Yeah. Passes in and accept it here.
But I could use some external package in here. Like I could use .mappable.
Yes. So you can use any Dart pack, like any pure Dart package, without anything, any problems.
Yeah.
It's an old Dart project. And you can also use some Flutter web packages, which I think goes way out of the scope of this live stream right now.
No worries, just want to know.
There is a possibility to also import Flutter web packages like the Firebase. I've successfully used the Flutter Firebase packages with Jaspr, for example.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So like Flutter packages that are built for Flutter that are not really concerned with widgets or rendering, but provide some service, some logic or stuff like that, which isn't widgets.
Yeah,
so
okay.
any like package like that you can make work with Jaspr. Yeah. So let's do use the item here and say what was it called? Just image.
Yeah.
And because it's not typed, I guess, no? Invalid constant, yes. Okay. Now, do we see something?
Do we see something?
We do see something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And that's
cool.
how this happens.
Okay.
Now, the cool thing, now, if you didn't pay attention, we did just pass data from the server to the client, if you noticed. Because we loaded that data, the JSON file, on the server, and now we have it available on the client just by passing it as parameters to a client component.
Yeah.
So what's also happening in the background is that all this data is serialized and kind of shipped together with the HTML to the browser, and then Jaspr picks it up and deserializes it again and passes it to the component and picks it up for your rendering.
Okay, crazy.
So client components are also a great way to pass data to the client.
Magic.
Yes.
Okay, nice. And yeah, I would make this more beautiful, like using .mappable because typing stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But not today. Okay, that's cool.
Yes. Let's make this, so now we show everything, right?
Yeah.
Let's make it that we only show one and toggle between them. For this, you can make the status component into a stateful component. And then we kind of keep track of the index and do some button clicks and stuff.
Create state. Okay.
You should be familiar with that.
Yeah, but I can't. Oh my god, I can't do this out of my mind. I just hit convert to stateful and then magic happens.
Okay.
You should be. Yes, you should. After doing this 5 years every day, you should. But nope.
So this is just the same, and then you put the build method in here, right? This looks familiar, right?
Yeah, and then it's
all right.
Widget.
And then you even have an init state. So I would say the index and use the index here.
It's with
yeah, it's component.data.
Component. Oh, okay. Yeah,
yes.
Because it's not a widget. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and then it displays the first one. I see. And if I have like a link now, I can do something like, or if I have like a
So we can, so with HTML, you can add click handlers to every element,
Yeah.
right? Theoretically, but you usually try to be at least a bit semantic. So, for example, a button, use a button here. And for certain elements, so all these like div h1 and so on, if you look at that, they have all the same parameters. So every single one of these has like children, ID, classes, styles, attributes, events, which are the default parameters for everything. Some of those have additional parameters that are just kind of convenience parameters that you have. For example, we had this with the image. Where was it? If we go to the portfolio item, here the image
Yeah.
has like the source parameter, which just is also just an attribute. You could also set this like an attribute, but it just gives you kind of a typed convenience parameter for this. Another convenience parameter that Jaspr has is the onClick handler on a button, which is just a function like this. So a button has this, and there are some other, like an input element has like an on change handler, like a text input. Yeah, just to make it a bit more easy. And then we say here set state. It's again the same as with Flutter. We increase the index maybe, and something less. Right, and then if we try that.
Oh, that's a cute little button. Okay, yeah.
And just add some text to it. Okay, now it has some text.
No.
Or not? Right.
Well, if the text is really small, like font size 1, then yes.
I don't think. Maybe it didn't
next. No,
reload.
no, it's there. No, it's
yeah, it's now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. And that's very Dartish, Flutterish. So that's familiar.
Yes.
If I can figure out how to write a state class without cheating, it works perfectly fine.
It's very hard.
So what we definitely need is like an extension for VS Code, like the Dart class, data, the snippets, where I can just tap and then convert to stateful component.
Yeah. I have them because I added them manually, but there isn't like a Jaspr extension
yet.
Right. Yet. Yes. Everything is yet.
Yet, of course, yet. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is nice. Now I think it clicked. So that helped a lot. I know that you have to leave in like 1 minute. But I think it's a great point for making a cut for today. And then
maybe we can just, to finish it off a bit,
sure.
build the project.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Because right now we are still like just using the development server.
Yeah, absolutely. How?
So you can kind of quit the Jaspr serve and run Jaspr build. And then wait. It shouldn't take too long, I hope.
Nah, it's...
but what it does, again, since we select static mode, it will now kind of execute our server-side code and render all the pages we defined into separate HTML files. So we should get like an index.html, but then also like an impressum.html file. And then compile also the JavaScript. Also because we still have Flutter in there, compile some Flutter stuff. It's building a Flutter web app now also.
Oops.
Which I don't know. There's something.
Failure type 1. Oh god, I broke it. Which Flutter version does it need?
Oh, did you quit the serve?
I did. I think I did. At least I did.
It says the socket, something with the socket.
Socket exception, blah. Heh? But I did quit it. Okay, wait a second. I can quit it again. Like, really? Quit. Okay, there are 3. I just quit all of them. I don't know. But is it because of the web assets? Because this fails somehow? For whatever reason?
But I think it's no. But this
Cannot
the
copy.
error I see right now comes from Flutter. I think
Is it a Windows problem? Because of
could be.
the
Yeah.
because of the slashes.
Ooh.
Did I find a
be
bug?
Could be a bug. But there's a okay, yeah. Oh shit.
I found a bug. Well, I can try this on my Mac as well, and then see if it's.
But I can't. No, I can't build it now here, right? Because it's only virtual for me.
Yep, probably. But I think that's. Do we have the? So the version file is copy file to build Jaspr version.js. Where is this coming from?
There's something in the CLI.
Version. So it's coming from here, and it tries to copy it over to Jaspr. And this is what fails, because this is probably not.
But it could be that this is just a Flutter thing. If we rip out all the Flutter stuff, maybe we can try again.
Okay, we can.
If that's cool.
Sure. If that's not.
One thing is delete Flutter from the dependencies in pubspec.
Like this?
Yes. And then just try again. Maybe that already
Flutter test as
does
well?
it. Shouldn't make a difference.
Okay.
Because the CLI is checking if Flutter is in the dependencies list and then does some more stuff.
But the thing which was wrapped around it, there was some.
Yes, but we are not using that anymore.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be part of the compilation. It's just some not used file right now.
Okay, where was this?
The Flutter counter.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Uh-oh, it's red. But maybe it didn't close it again.
Yeah, maybe you can still you can try again closing the ports with Task Manager.
I'm not sure why it's not closing itself for some reason. Oh god. Okay, if I close it, it instantly opens up again. What? Why?
Maybe one process could be the analysis server.
Yep, it crashed. I think now I completely broke it.
But then it should be fine.
Or it should be fine. I take this.
Nope.
I completely broke it. I don't know how I can kill this manually, to be honest. I can just try to get it from the... But why is it? Okay, it tries again. Right? I'm probably kicking you out, but if I'm quitting VS Code real quick, because I don't know.
Yeah, I guess,
Okay,
but you can try it.
I try.
Yeah.
Then I kill the process and try again. Not sure if you are still in the, or if it kicked you out, but I try to run it again.
It kicked me out, but I still can see your screen,
Okay.
so it's fine.
Okay, that looks better, I would say.
Oh yes, that looks nice.
Okay, so it's...
So if you go to the build, build Jaspr.
Build Jaspr.
Yeah. So everything in there you can now deploy as a website. You should see, like you have an index HTML.
Yes.
And then you have like an impressum. / index HTML.
Okay. Yes. So I would use the whole folder and upload it.
Yes, you can push the whole folder, for example, to Firebase hosting.
Okay.
Or GitHub Pages or whatever.
Or to my own...
or to your own web server.
Thingy. Okay, nice.
And you see if you go scroll a bit down in the index, maybe in the main index, not in the impressum index.
Oops. Wrong. This one.
So one, you can see it like rendered all the CSS, but also rendered all the HTML. And then it put the kind of the marker for the client component.
Yeah.
You can see all the data that is serialized in there.
Yeah.
It's also part of this.
Okay, nice. That's cool. Okay, yeah, so, that's great, because now I can basically build the whole thing, finish it up, or try, and then ping you if I'm running into problems.
Yep.
Also, if you need like the error thingy, I can screenshot it. I don't know, or open an issue. Or
no, I've noted it down. I think it's just using the right path separator on Windows.
Yeah, probably.
Always.
Yeah, I'm running into this all the time. Either one or the other way. But normally Windows paths are the problem. Okay, cool. So I don't want to steal any more of your time.
Yep, I think it was a
pleasure.
We got something done. It was really cool.
Great session, really. I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks a lot. I learned a lot. I feel capable of doing this now, which
nice.
That
was a goal.
That's great. That feels good.
Yeah.
And then I hope I can show you my result really soon.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Then thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, you're always welcome. And
thanks.
Thanks everybody for watching, and see you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.